camera in my approach. I'm telling you, don't do it.
Oh, yeah! Right here is up 10 pins. 10
Man, deep track.
Watch the action of the head pin coming across, and the nose of the head pin takes out the 10, and then Weber just gives it the business.
Strike to claim it, and he got it!
That is right, I did it! That's number 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
We are bowling the Pete Weber Missouri Classic today. Pro-Am last night, that was a blast. Had a ton of fun being able to hang out with some of the kids, some of the youth. But for today, we got 6 games in the morning, 6 games at night. They seemed fairly hard for the lefties in the practice session. I know it's going to be higher scores, I think. I know they were lower last year, but I think higher today. Yeah, we're just going to go grind it out, knowing that the left is probably going to be a little harder, but no reason we can't get in that cut, right? So we got 12 games today. Let's get to the lanes.
We are in Springfield, Missouri for the PBA Pete Weber Classic. Love him or hate him, PDW was an absolute icon in the world of bowling. Last year's winner of this event was Anthony Simonson, and he's looking for his first title of 2025. This tournament features a format that we saw both in Delaware and Illinois. There will be 18 games of qualifying in 3 6-game rounds. You'll see 2 of those rounds today. After qualifying, the top 24 advance to a match play bracket, with the top 8 players receiving a first round bye in the bracket. Players will compete in head-to-head best-of-7 matches. The final 4 winners plus the highest seeded loser in the final round will make the TV stepladder finals. One of the things I wanted to highlight this week was the pre-tournament qualifier. Every week, a bunch of guys who don't have an exemption on the PBA Tour compete in a pre-tournament qualifier, or PTQ, just to get the chance to bowl in the main tournament. This week, 7 players advanced, including our boy Nick Pate. This week, players are bowling on the 45-foot Dick Weber pattern. In the first round of qualifying, EJ Tackett did EJ Tackett things. The world #1 and US Open champion led the field averaging 250. Two-hander Bailey Maverick, who made match play last week, sits in second. One of the favorites for Rookie of the Year, Ryan Barnes, sits in third. Kyle Troop is in fourth. And Tim Foy Jr., who made the telecast last week, sits in fifth. The 24th place cut line right now is Michael Davidson, averaging 218.83. After the first round, Packy headed to the truck to drill a couple balls. Let's see what his game plan is for round 2.
4 7/8 over.
This can be the answers. Just tell me it's the answer.
This is the first answer.
We got to bowl better using the front part of the lane, because when the front's hook, I have been struggling this year, Timmy. So we're going to use the fronts, drilled up a couple new pieces. We got Troublemaker Solid, which a bunch of guys have used and looks good. And we also got a GB5 that we're going to crush with surface. So we went two opposite directions. We went the Troublemaker Solid, which is a little smoother, and we're going to bring it up in surface. And we're going to bring the surface of the GB5 weighed down to like a 500 grit, crush it, and try and use the front part of the lane the appropriate way. That's the goal for the night block. Hopefully go a little more than 50 over and chase down these guys in the cut, because the left is hard. So we're going to have to make a lot of good shots and split very few times. That's the goal. We bowled way better once we switched to the Arctic vibe. I tried that new game plan with that GB5 like I talked about at the break. I threw that one the first game, trying to use a little more shape, trying to play deeper to start. It looked okay. I just threw two really good shots, that big forward and Greek churched. I missed the move. We're using Peggle Fire Oil, which tends to move very quickly as we go across even just one game, me bowling on the left side by myself. I see, a bunch of good shots, then all of a sudden I'll need to move without warning. It won't like 6-pin and then big four. It'll just strike, big four. We decided to go to the Troublemaker Solid with that like little 3000, kind of shinier look to the ball, and move a little further left, throw a little faster, and it just didn't hook in the right spot. A couple good ones, and then one a little left that didn't hook, one a little right that hooked too much. So it just didn't give me the room. Tried to throw it slower, move in, still didn't strike. So at that point, we're looking for a hero play. I brought out the Vibe in the fill shot of my game 2 where I shot 180, and it looked good. So we threw that to start game 3, shot 230, then move pairs to the low end of the house, shoot 240, and it gave me the shim when I missed in and just enough hook when I missed left. So it had like a little bit of sand on it. It had probably like 1,000 pad on it. Looked really good. I'm sitting at 130, dug real deep the back half of that block to be at 130 over, never really given up. Had a really good chat with a couple of my ball reps just talking about, hey, like, year hasn't exactly started how I wanted it to start. I'm not giving up. I'm going to be in it mentally every block, trying to figure it out, trying to piece it together. I will find the answer eventually. It just might take some time, and I feel like today, especially the back half of that last block, I figured out a little bit of the pieces. Only like 60 back of the cut after being, 130 back of the cut after the first 2 games tonight. So yeah, put something together. No reason we can't go and try and chase it down tomorrow, but definitely found some life there the back half of that block.
After 12 games of qualifying, EJ Tackett maintains his lead, averaging 239.33 with a 70 pin advantage over second place. Tim Foy Jr. had a great block, averaging 233.5 overall and sitting in second. Ryan Barnes sits in third, only 5 pins behind Tim Foy. Keven McCune sits in fourth, averaging 229.42, and Kyle Troop rounds out the top 5. The cut line right now for 24th place is Dom Barrett, averaging 216.75. There were 2 absolutely wild shots that happened on day 1. The first one from former Shocker player Alec Keplinger. The second one from left-hander Brandon Runk. At every tournament, every player is awarded points based on how they finished at that tournament. Here's an update on the point standings after 3 events. EJ Tackett sits in first, cashing in all 3 events and winning the US Open. Graham Faw sits in second with a win in Delaware, another finals appearance at the US Open, and a cash in Illinois. Chris Weiss sits in third, cashing in all 3 events and finishing in third at the US Open and second in Illinois. Andrew Anderson sits in fourth, cashing at the first stop of the year and then dominating at the US Open until the title match where he finished second. Jacob Buttriff sits in fifth, cashing in all 3 events. The top 12 on the PBA points list at the end of the season advance to the PBA playoffs. Day 2 of the tournament will feature the final round of qualifying and the first round of match play. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.